Hi guys, so today I am reviewing the all-new Volvo S60. So this is the third generation S60 based on the Spa platform that also spawned the XC90, S90 and XC60. So this is the first time that the S60 now goes on the Spa platform, and well, this car certainly has generated a lot of excitement. You know, this is the first, I think it is the first time in a long time that a Volvo sedan has generated as much buzz and excitement as the S60. And who can argue? It is such, firstly, from the outside, it is such a stunning car to look at. Now, our test example here today is a white colored unit, but really the color that you want with this car is that bright, you know, fire red that really brings out the sporty character of this car. In fact, one look at this car, it is pretty obvious that it is spec'd to take on the BMW 3 Series, and they underline that message by giving this the S60 T8 here, which is the only variant on sale, R-Design trim. You see, with the S90, with the XC90 and the XC60, they've given the T8 variants inscription trim. This one, they went with R-Design. So the message is clear. This car is aimed at enthusiast drivers. It is positioned as a dynamic product. It is aimed to take on the BMW 3 Series. Very ambitious undertaking. The C-Class have tried and failed for years to unseat the 3 Series as the dynamic champion of the segment. So this is no small task if Volvo wants to challenge the 3 Series. But does it have the credentials? Well, no short of firepower. This T8 engine, we all know the numbers. Net system output 407 horsepower, 640 Newton meters of torque. Even if you don't have the services of the hybrid setup, you still have a minimum of 320 horsepower from the combustion engine. So not bad at all. This thing has pace to burn and then some. And of course, this with the new generation Spa platform, as we experienced with the XC90, with the S90, with the XC60, Volvo has learned to make cars that handle. I mean, that the other day I was driving the XC90 up Genting. I was absolutely mind blown by how sharp, precise and agile it is for a 7-seater SUV, 2-ton 7-seater SUV. So if they can make something as bulky as the XC90 handle, well, this little much smaller car, no problem. And I can testify, having just came back from Genting, this car, it's fast on the straights, and it just generates bags and bags of grip around the bends. So if you were to compare this head-on against the 3 Series, the 330i, which this S60 T8 matches closely in pricing at 300,000 ringgit. So if you compare this with the 330i, this thing is faster on a straight line. The 330i has a more, it has better flow around the bends. It is a more fluid chassis. It's a chassis that dances with you when you push it hard. This one, it just pulls itself around the bend on the sheer strength of its mechanical grip, and it generates some pretty impressive grip. The whole time in Genting, right, up, down Gotong, there was only one corner that I generated a tire squeal of any kind. So this thing this thing, it really pulls on a straight line, and it has that composure to pull itself around a bend. Now I must say that with the S60, we talk about speed. This thing, it's not just fast, okay? It's not just about the sheer outputs, but rather the way it delivers them. Because it has help from the electric motor, it is able to deliver the whole load of its performance immediately and explosively. And if you are not careful, even with very, very minor throttle applications, you will find yourself very, very far into the illegal section of your speedometer. And that's the thing with this car, it delivers its pace so effortlessly, right? It manages to feel explosive, yet at the same time it is so effortless. This is a very, very easy car to go very, very fast in. So really, right, on the sporting stakes, if you were really to compare this with the 3 Series or the Mercedes C-Class, yes, you can argue that the rear-wheel drive configuration will still give you more balance around the corners, but what the S60 offers here in terms of its sheer performance, as well as the mechanical grip that the chassis has on offer, this gives you more that there's more of these talents that regular drivers are able to better exploit. Or let me put this another way, the areas where this car is superior, aspects in which this car is superior to the 3 Series, is very readily accessible by regular drivers, which is namely, of course, the performance as well as the sheer mechanical grip. But aspects where the 3 Series has the edge, and I'm talking about sheer adjustable balance around the corners, right? The ability to power slide. That is this advantage really requires a higher skill set than most average drivers to properly exploit. So at 300,000 ringgit, right, the S60 here, this S60 here, you compare to what you get in a Mercedes C-Class or a BMW 3 Series. This is an absolute bargain. It is a very, very competitive price for what is on offer. Now, I know the 3 Series and the C-Class are more universally approved, and they are not bad cars by any stretch of the imagination. So I would imagine that yes, most buyers at this price point would still probably put their money down on a 3 Series or a C-Class. But I would say that the S60 here has a far greater importance than just pulling sales numbers. What this car has accomplished is that it now puts a properly alluring, dynamic vehicle in terms of appearances, a properly alluring vehicle in the Volvo showrooms, all right, that now then elevates the standing of the Volvo brand amongst enthusiasts, which will in turn drive up further interest to their other models. So see, when you're shopping for a Volvo, at the end of the day, right, you can't argue against the likes of the XC60 an XC90 as a compelling, you know, as a compelling buy, as a value for money proposition. You can't argue against the XC60 and the XC90. But sometimes you need halo cars like this one here to get the enthusiasts talking, right? To generate the buzz around your brand and bring people into the showrooms to check out your bread and butter cars.